Idealism, dejection, and evaluation. When I started work, and probably you're the same, when I first became a professional person, when I first became a teacher, I was very idealistic, and I just wanted to be the very best professional that I can be, and I still want to be the very best professional that I can be. And I think as you go through your professional career, you perhaps get a little bit less idealistic. And I remember being in an untenable position in the job, and this is the closest I've ever been to burnout. Burnout is a really hot topic at the minute. And I remember, I don't know if this resonates with you, I remember being in the shower thinking, I just don't want this to shower to end. I don't want to have to go to work. I don't want to do the commute. I don't want to go to where I'm not valued, and I know that I'm not able to do a good job. And that was the difficulty there, really. I had that bad time because I knew that the circumstances were not enabling me to do a good enough job. So this is just a story really about going through those 3 phases of idealism, then into dejection, and then into evaluation. This is something I hope that can tell you more about me, and something that we can work with together, and that as a community we can all learn together as well. Maybe you entered the world of work wanting to change things, with lots of ideas. And then you had the job, the one, do you all remember there's a time in your career where somebody persuaded you to become a realist? Or do you remember a time when you feel like, oh gosh, this job now is not what I thought it would be, and I suddenly becomes a job that you didn't like going to, the one where that commute just wasn't long enough, and as I say, the one where you wish the shower wouldn't end, or you just didn't have to get there, the job that made you feel dejected. Is this ringing any bells? And I was too, and I had a period of time, I had about 2 terms, so about 6 months of working at a place that I thought, this is not going to be good for me. And it was difficult for me because I had been trusted, and I had been somebody that everyone thought was really good at my job at my first school, and then I found that I wasn't really valued in that same way at my second school. The answer I found was just in actually something I've been doing all along, but it was just actually a way of thinking. And as soon as I saw that their realism for what it really was, as soon as I looked to kind of evaluate their actions and my own, I became much more free to think. As soon as I started thinking about everything that was happening in a more evaluative sense, I was free to work more pragmatically, and I could work with anybody. I found that after that, I could work on any project. I could work across larger remits in the organization, and I didn't lose any of my own convictions. So I was a more effective professional for realizing that evaluation was the way to think, realizing that it was worth spending more time raising my level of thinking to a more evaluative person, to literally evaluating everything that was said in a meeting, every piece of work that I was doing, starting from the point of evaluation rather than starting from the point of struggle, rather than starting from the point lower down that hierarchy of thinking. Anyway, and I think I can teach you to think in that same way.